Hello, I am Clement Kubuga, a BEd scholar and a Borlaug Leap fellow, taking my PhD studies at Michigan State University. Borlaug Leap gave me a rare opportunity to work with a CGIAR mentor. This mentoring experience, coupled with financial support, made my dreams of working on a food security project come true. It also gave me an opportunity to conduct laboratory analysis on my biological samples. As part of my studies, I worked on container gardens to ensure food security in Ghana as a pilot project. Food insecurity is a global challenge, and our focus is on Ghana. In Ghana, food insecurity is severest in the Upper East region with high malnutrition prevalence, especially anemia. Inhabitants are mainly peasant farmers. Diets are monotonous and are mainly cereals and vegetables. Food insecurity is worse during the dry season, where food production seems impossible. The pilot project tested the feasibility of producing widely consumed iron-rich vegetables such as Hibiscus sadrifa using container garden during the dry season. It also tested the feasibility of producing and generating income from cabbage to sustain the garden activities and purchase micronutrient-rich foods such as dry fish and iodized salt for consumption. The project relies on giving women the tools they would need without requiring any payback, since that can lead to exploitation. The economic model relies on saving part of the proceeds from food sales to plow back into the project to make it sustainable over time. We had interesting findings, such as a container each for hibiscus and cabbage production were capable or are capable of providing mother-child diet 3 hibiscus meals per week and income to meet mother-child diet monthly needs for iodized salt and dry fish. It was feasible to produce enormous amount of vegetables, which would have required vast land to do so. The project eliminates problems associated with land ownership or scarcity of land. It can be done anywhere. It uses relatively less water as compared to existing conventional irrigation systems in northern Ghana. It eliminates the problems associated with having a fixed number of plots or irrigation area, which is limited to selected few. The system is community-based, household-centered, and uses a novel production, distribution, and marketing model for sustainability. It ensures the availability of plant and animal produce to households in the dry season. This is a promising, scalable project for various settings in ensuring food security. Let us feed the big world with healthy foods from small containers. Thank you.
My name is Ademola Eno, the 2016 Borlaug Leap Fellow from Nigeria, and I'm also a PhD candidate in the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. I have been an avid follower of the Borlaug program right from the inception of my master's degree studies back in Nigeria.
My name is Emmanuel Ahinkra, a 2016 Borlaug Leap Fellow, a Ghanaian, and from University of South Africa.
Currently, I am working on one of the most resilient and economically important legumes of tropical Africa, called the African yam bean. The African yam bean is a crop which is indigenous to Africa but has been neglected by science for decades because it is not traded in the international market.
I'm interested in water and soil remediation. Currently, my research focuses on water and soil bodies that have been polluted, and I'm looking at ways in which they can be reclaimed for agricultural purposes.
The identification of superior genes responsible for earliness in maturity, softer seed coats, high yield and resistance to pests and diseases are going to be used in crop improvement programs for the development of a hybrid variety. These hybrid varieties are going to be improved in terms of their nutritional content and also in terms of yield. And these hybrid varieties are going to be of benefit to the large African farming community's livelihood through improved nutrition to solve hunger, hidden hunger, and also malnutrition in kids. Also, the high income generated from surplus sold are going to be used to improve the status of the women, whom are especially the major custodians of this lost African crop.
Yes, it has really had a great deal of impact on my life and on my career. Although half through my program, that's half through my fellowship, I know for sure that I'll be taking a PhD program here at University of California, Davis. In Ghana, fertile lands and clean water bodies are increasingly being substituted for small-scale mining, which has subsequently caused agricultural contribution to the GDP to decrease, as well as causing massive environmental degradation, pollution of water and air, and ultimately threatening food security. This fellowship has equipped me adequately in the field of remediation, both in the laboratory and practical setting. I will use the skills and knowledge gained to remediate the polluted agricultural areas that will be able to support farming activities once again, as well as relieve the end users of the effects of mercury and arsenic pollution. The program has created an avenue to network and meet like-minded people who are also working on similar things that you're doing that you can work with in the near future. And I also made a great friend from this program, Ademola from Nigeria.
I love the Norman Borlaug program so much. The Norman Borlaug program has exposed us to a level of science that has never been seen in us before. The Norman Borlaug program has created a networking opportunity between we and even other universities. I like the level of uncommon collaboration that is seen in the Norman Borlaug program. The collaborations between the CGIAR centers, between our universities back in Africa, and also between the university and also with the University of California, Davis. Thank you, Borlaug Leap program.
Thank you, University of California, Davis, for hosting us.
Malawi is an agricultural country with poor productivity, yet a lot of young people are interested in agricultural research and technology development. Two such young people are Crocus Hamsini and Stanley Juma, who are Norman Borlaug Leap Fellows. Crocus Hamsini's area of study is plant breeding, and she conducted research in common bean, looking at drought and biological nitrogen fixation in light of her country's overdependence on rain-fed agriculture, low soil fertility, and resource-limited smallholder farmers.
Normally, common beans are heavily attacked with pests and diseases, and this leads to a reduction of yield.
Stanley Juma was studying the integration of dairy livestock and maize production under conservation agriculture, focusing on nitrogen and active carbon dynamics in maize and forage legume intercropping systems.
I work for Exagris Africa Limited as an operations manager. Exagris Africa do a lot of crops, and soya is one of them. But we have faced a lot of challenges because the weather here is so hot, the moisture doesn't stay in the soil.
Besides the academic research, the two Borlaug Leap Fellows are collaborating in applied research to solve one of the pressing issues affecting common bean production, which is planting time in order to control pests and diseases. The fellows have also introduced no-tillage soybean production, which is the first ever in Malawi, and expect a yield of not less than 2,500 kilograms per hectare in the hope of scaling out this technology to smallholder farmers.
nthawi ya mvula nyemba zimavula kwambiri kwa cha matenda ndiye makolola marumba mwina 10 olemera ma 50 kg.
With regard to what we are doing on soybeans, where we are planting on flat land and doing zero tillage, Stanley has helped quite a lot, and we seem to be yielding results.
In the common bean study, the fellows have added another component which deals with fertilizer recommendations for common bean, which is unclear for most smallholder farmers. Thus, the two are assessing nutrient levels for both macro and micronutrients using both foliar and granular fertilizers in order to find the best combination that can give the most yields.
The Borlaug Leap Fellowship was a wonderful experience for us.
And it exposed us to several technologies, leadership skills, knowledge, and networks that will help us contribute to the agricultural development of our country, Malawi.
And for this,
we are truly grateful.
Thank you, Borlaug Leap! Woohoo!